Guys, welcome to the new video. Just a quick background. लास्ट दो वीडियोस में हमने ज़्यादातर डिस्कशन किया था अबाउट शॉर्ट टर्म रेंटल्स. आई टोल्ड यू व्हाट शॉर्ट टर्म रेंटल्स आर, what are the different kind of properties that fall under short term rentals. ये टॉपिक्स हमने कवर किया था. एट द एंड ऑफ द लास्ट वीडियो आई हैड टोल्ड यू गाइस दैट वी विल कवर a very important topic about how you can start your short-term rental business without any investment, right? A lot of people must be wondering, मेरे पास तो प्रॉपर्टी नहीं है, कैसे मैं उसको रेंट पे चढ़ाऊंगा, और I don't have money obviously to buy a property and then rent it out to people, right? So please do watch this video so you can at least get a gist of how you can actually start a business without owning your own property, right? So to put it in a very simple term, if you don't own a property, you can lease out that property and start your own rental business on that property. What I mean by lease is that two ways of getting into an agreement with the property owner. One is the normal rental agreement which we get into, and the other one is a long-term lease, which is either 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or even longer than that, right? So you need to get into a long-term lease with the property owner and start using this for commercial purposes, right? That's how you can start a short-term rental business actually without doing any investment, right? So now you guys will ask, अरे लीज पे ले रहे तो पैसा रेंट का तो देना ही पड़ेगा. Obviously you have to give the rent, the monthly rent to the owner, but you also need to understand that if this business becomes successful, the same money will be rotating in and out, and you don't actually have to put the money from your pocket. Even if initially you have to pay the advance rent to the owner, you will recover that over the period of time, and eventually that money will go out from the business itself and not from your pocket, right? So that's one way where you can actually start this business without owning the property, right? So there are different models within this as well. You don't necessarily need to lease out the property to start this business. You can actually approach the property owner and tell them that I will give you sales indirectly. What I'm trying to say is you will give them bookings, right? You will tell them that I will give you guests to ensure that your property is being occupied, right? And for those bookings you charge them a commission, right? Or you can work on a revenue sharing model where you want more monopoly, and आप owner से बोलिए I have a lot of capabilities and I can give you this much fixed sales, but I'll be the only sole seller of your property, or sole marketer of your property, and you give me a certain amount of revenue sharing on every booking, or it could be a monthly contract that you get into with the owner. So these are the different three ways where you can tie up with the owner. One is you give a fixed monthly rental to the owner, which is a long-term lease, where the investment obviously is a bit higher, but again, to tell you that this same money is going to rotate in from your business, right? It's not a direct investment that you're putting. It's the same money that is going to come out from your business. Other second way I told you is commission based, and the third is revenue sharing. Commission based revenue sharing is a pretty similar model. In revenue sharing you will be the sole marketer of the property, right? So that's the only different. Commission model is where you take a certain commission and give the bookings to the owner, right? So now I'll tell you recap a bit of examples of different properties. I had covered this point earlier in our videos. There are different types of properties that you can get into. One is the villas or holiday homes in the travel destinations that I talked about. Other is where you can go for apartments where apartments which are located in metro cities, right, where there are a lot of travelers, office crowd that comes in and out from the city for corporate related work. So you can tap in into that market as well. And the other one is the holiday home. These are the two main properties that you can focus on for your short term rental business, right? And whichever is more convenient for you, you can go for that kind of an option. Now, where are these properties located, right? So if you are located in a metro city, then obviously you would have a lot of commercial spaces in and around your city, so you can tap into the owners in that area if you want to target the corporate clients. Now, if you are again located in a metro city, but you think that there are a lot of hill stations or travel destinations in and around your city, then you can approach property owners in these locations, and then you can start a tie up with them and work it out as a holiday home. So these are the two options. Example of a holiday home, for example, if you're staying in Bangalore, then what are the travel destinations which are closer to Bangalore? 1 hour, 2 hours drive from Bangalore. That's your market, right? That's the kind of owners that you need to focus on for starting your holiday home business. Similarly for Mumbai or any other metro cities, right? Now there are a lot of questions I'm sure you guys will have in your mind. How do we find these properties, right? That's the first challenge. Then also the other challenge is, how do I find out the owners? Will the owner say yes? Will the owner agree to get into an agreement with me? Will how all these will work out? From where do I find these properties? Other questions that you will have is, where do I list these properties? How do I market these properties? Will I make enough money to survive in this business, right? There are a lot of these questions that you will have, and I made big claims in my last videos that this is a business where there is no investment and you can still start this business and actually be profitable from the first month. So to you can say justify that claim, a step-by-step process needs to be explained to you guys of how actually from finding this property to actually implementing this business, right? There is a process that I have worked on for the last 18 months, so I'll be sharing that with you over the next few videos. So your questions are pretty much justified, that how do I find this property, where do I list it, how do I find these owners, what should be the platforms I'll use to market these properties, how do I maintain these properties, how do I find help caretakers for these properties, how do I manage all these guests. Lot of questions that you will have in order to implement these this business idea, right? So I understand, and we'll cover all these points over the next few videos, and I will also tell you my entire journey of how I went through all these questions in my head and how actually I overcame all this and started this business and have a portfolio of properties right now under my belt, where I'm able to implement all of this that we just talked about, and I have reached a stage where at least I have some experience to share with you guys, so it can benefit you as well, and you too can start your own business into short-term rentals and start making some money. And again, I would advise you, whatever you're doing, continue doing that in your career. This is something that you can take up on the side as a side hustle initially. See the response for the 3 or 6 months. If you're making enough money, then it is worth deep diving further and taking more risk, and probably take this up as a full-time job or a full-time business as well, right? So stay tuned guys, we'll cover all the points that I talked about and more importantly, I'll cover my journey with real life examples of how I was able to start this business, so you also can understand how practically this works. And then we'll deep dive more into all the steps that I talked about: finding the property, listing it on portals, getting it live, and start making money out of it. So stay tuned guys, I'll see you in the next video. Take care, bye bye.